So this is for Work Together 16-2. On 16-2, we are going to make a statement of stockholders' equity. There's lots of writing for the account title, so once again, just to speed up my recording portion of it, I wrote down the titles, but I left some things blank. So this is on page 485 in your textbook, and I'm just going to read the instructions. It says, use the trial balance and income statement for Superior Corporation from Work Together 16-1. A form for the statement of stockholders' equity is given in the working papers. I will guide you through the following example. We need to prepare a statement of stockholders' equity for the current year. As of January 1st, Superior Corporation had issued 8,000 shares of capital stock with a par value of $10 per share. During the fiscal year, the corporation issued 250 additional shares of capital stock. And then save your work together to complete Work Together 16-3. So first of all, we have our title, Superior Corporation. This is a statement of stockholders' equity, and this is for year ended December 31st, 2000, whatever year it is. So to begin with this, we will write capital stock with a colon after it. That is our first section. Our next section will be retained earnings, and then we'll have our total stockholders' equity. So first thing we'll write is capital stock, and then we need to find the par value. And this is in our instructions. It says the par value is $10 per share. So I'm going to fill in here $10 for the par value. Nothing to fill in over here. Now what this means here is that if I were to buy a share of stock, it would cost me $10 per share of stock. So if I bought 2 shares of stock, that would be $20. Now January 2000, we need to find the shares that were issued at the beginning of the year. And in our instructions, it says, as of January 1st, Superior Corporation had issued 8,000 shares of capital stock. So I'm going to fill in 8,000 here. So to calculate the value that we have for our shares issued, you would take 8,000 shares times the $10 par value. So 8,000 times $10 will be 80,000, and that's going to go in the middle column here. And that is because we have something else we need to do before we can get our final value for capital stock that will go in the far right column. Next, issued during current year. If we did not issue any more during the current year, you would just put in 0 shares, and then you could put in 0 over here. But for this year, in our book, we issued an additional 250 shares. So we will put that next, right in here, 250. We need to calculate the dollar value of that. So 250 shares times $10. So that would be 2,500. Now, the balance December 31st, so at the end of the year, we need to calculate how many shares we have issued. We will take the 8,000 shares we had at the beginning of the year, plus an additional 250 shares. So we will fill in here 8,250. I'm going to draw a single line because I will be adding. And then we will take 80,000 plus 2,500, and that will give us our balance at the end of the year. I'm going to turn off my volume because I believe I had some echo going on there. So that's our balance for capital stock at the end of the year, $82,500. Now our next section is for retained earnings. And we need the beginning balance of retained earnings at the beginning of the year. That was given to us back in the Work Together for 16-1 in the instructions. That would be the only place I believe we could find that. And our beginning balance, if you looked back and found that in your textbook, it was $15,283.40. Now, for the next one here, you will need to take out your Work Together for 16-1 to look at your income statement, because we are looking for the net income after federal income tax. So at the very end of our income statement here, we have our net income. It's the very last number, $73,148.80. That will go in the far right column. Then next we need to do less dividends declared during 2000 and whatever year we are doing for this. So let me find, I got so many papers here. There we go. We need to go ahead and look for the amount that we have for dividends from our adjusted trial balance. And if we look in our adjusted trial balance, we want to look for dividends. We don't want to look for dividends payable. That's not the number we're looking for. Dividends payable is how much we owe right now in dividends. We need to write like checks that will equal $3,000. We're looking for just dividends itself. So $12,000. Draw a single line because our title here says less dividends declared. So if we take our net income and then if we subtract our dividends declared, so these two numbers here in this column, we will get $61,148.80. This is our net increase. If we were to have a net loss, this would be different, but I don't believe we will see any of those at the moment, so I'm not going to worry about it. So we have our balance of retained earnings and then our net increase. So draw a single line. We're going to add these two numbers together, and our balance will be $76,432 and then 20 cents. Okay. Next, what we need to do is we need to calculate our total stockholders' equity. So I'm going to draw a single line here. And to calculate that, we'll take our balance of capital stock and we will add our balance for retained earnings, and that will be $158,932.20. Then just go ahead and double rule when we are done. I'm going to leave this here so you can see the ending here.